Never in my life did I expect to hear Scousers being described as far right. But that's what's happening now. It's happening by the mainstream media pushing that narrative, and it's happening amongst the woke progressives on social media. Of course, they're pushing this narrative because for some weird reason, they don't want you, they don't want us to know the truth. I am, of course, talking about the riots that happened in Knowsley, Liverpool, a few nights ago. So a couple of thousand concerned Knowsley residents, they turned up at one of the hotels that was housing illegal migrants, undocumented men who had rowed over here in their dinghies, landed on the southern shores of England, who then declared themselves as refugees and allegedly need asylum. And as we all know, the government are bending over backwards for these people. The government are doing nothing to stop them, nothing to deter them. They are being put into disused army barracks, plush hotels, and are getting millions of British taxpayers' money spent on them. Which begs the question, really, why is our government bending over backwards? They're tripping over themselves to put migrants who've come here illegally up in hotels, fast-tracking them for social housing, lucrative benefits, and on the NHS healthcare waiting lists. And the government have never ever done anything like this, unprecedented, for our own homeless people. It doesn't sit right with me. It shouldn't sit right with you. Now, the concerned locals of Knowsley, they turned up at these hotels, and it started out as a kind of peaceful protest. There was a lot of shouting, but that's it. But all that changed when Antifa turned up. And let's get one thing clear. When Antifa turn up to counter riot, it's never a counter protest. And the next thing you know, the police were attacked and police vehicles were set on fire. I'll leave that with you. Now, within this hotel, with the illegal migrants, the undocumented men who'd come here illegally, were a group called Care for Calais. Now, Care for Calais are a bunch of completely out of touch youths who come from, wealthy middle upper class families who want for nothing, yet strive to push socialist, communist, Marxist ideals on the rest of the country, which is bewildering, really. And these kids then go over to Calais and help out these illegal migrants get over the English Channel and advise them on how to get benefits, etc. Now, curiously, you never see or hear of these champagne socialists going around British cities doing the same for our own homeless. Why? So anyway, this group was stuck in this hotel and they couldn't get out. And all they were tweeting was that they were surrounded by far-right Nazis and they were scared for their lives. And of course the news channels that were reporting on this, they were completely one-sided. I mean, you would think that the illegal migrants and Care for Calais, that they were surrounded by the Wehrmacht and the SS, but of course they weren't. Now, listening to the woke progressives on Twitter, the celebrity types with their blue ticks, and the mainstream media, you would think that the Scousers, the locals of Knowsley, whom they all dubbed as far right, and by the way, statistically, Knowsley is Britain's safest Labour seat, so around 80% of these people vote for Labour, so does that make them far left? Now, where was I? Oh yes, now you would think, if you listen to the narrative pushed out by the left, the wokerati, that the people of Knowsley turned up because they didn't want people who didn't look like them living in the area, which isn't the case at all. Now, these people, the concerned locals of Knowsley, they turned up at this hotel because they object to single undocumented men approaching their most vulnerable in society, and I'll leave the rest to you. Now, to be called far right because of that is a disgusting slur. And I know this because I've been to Liverpool, I've been to Knowsley a few times, and there are no problems between ethnic minorities and white people, none whatsoever. It is probably one of the most lefty socialist cities in Britain. These people don't sing the national anthem, for God's sakes, during football matches. So this nonsense being peddled by the left, by the woke, by the progressives, it's a disgusting slur. And it should tell you more about the mainstream media and the lefties on social media. The fact that they label anyone far right who are concerned parents who want their kids to remain safe and looked after. So there we go, and I think the mainstream media owes the people of Knowsley a huge apology for this terrible slur, this name calling on a community that simply wants to keep their kids safe. And that's that. That's my video. That's what I think. I would love to know what you think in the comments. And if you haven't done so, then please consider subscribing to my channel, especially if you are like-minded. Because as you can see, I push these videos out on a nearly daily basis. And I would really like to engage with you on here. So there we go. Until the next time, have a great day. Look after yourselves, and Roger Trout.